Welcome back to the box office, guys. We got another episode today for this upcoming fight week. David Benavidez versus Ronald Ellis. Benavidez, 1B at math, guys, versus Ronald Ellis, who has a very good record and is actually known as Canelo's sparring partner. So it should be an interesting matchup. See what he's learned from getting in the ring with the best of the best, right? David Benavidez is coming in at a minus 2,500 favorite, meaning you have to bet over $2,000, 2,500 to be exact, to win back $100. Vegas is basically saying, Ronald Ellis, you have no shot, basically. On the other hand, you bet $100 on Ronald Ellis, he pulls off that miraculous upset, you win $800 back, meaning you walk out with $900 or more based on what you put in. Makes it an interesting $10 bet though, I will say that. $15, $20 where you start earning triple digits for, very little amounts of money. Things to consider though, David Benavidez is in a crash course for big things, potentially fighting his sparring partner, Canelo Alvarez. So we got David Benavidez, undefeated fighter, 23-0, 20 knockouts. His last fight was a it was a stoppage. He managed to stop the guy in round 10. Before that, Anthony Durrell got him out in round 9. Leon Love, he got him out in round 2. So he's actually in, the last 3 fights have not gone the distance. 2 of them did reach round 9, which is a significant, time passed from round 1, so it should be interesting how the over and under is placed on this fight. And on the other hand, we have Ronald Ellis, who is looking to make some noise on his own right. He is standing at 5'10", while Benavidez is 6'1", so he is at a height disadvantage. He has a 77-inch reach advantage, which is the same as David Benavidez. What Benavidez has the height, so he won't be reaching up when throwing the punch. Ronald Ellis will be doing that. But you do have him who beat Korobov by a 4th round stoppage. He actually hurt his ankle in that fight, and it was a weird stoppage that happened in December of last year. He did have a loss to DeAndre Ware, which to me personally is a little concerning, but we'll talk more about that later. Without further ado, let's present to you the Vegas favorite, David Benavidez. Of course, we had to start off with David Benavidez, the Vegas favorite. First things first, step 1, so you can succeed in this bout, is answer any questions. What does that mean? Any questions that Ronald throws at you that he may have. Can he answer my hand speed? Can he answer if I'm a little slick? Can he answer my counter punching? Oh, I got tremendous feet work. He won't be able to keep up with me. Any questions that he might try to throw at you, answer that. If he catches you with the jab, catch him with 2. If he tries to flurry on you, flurry on him back. We all know that David Benavidez is a fighter that likes to move forward. And that's on to step 2. You have to move forward, press the guy, and have him move back the whole fight. You put that pressure on him that he can't relax in the ring, and it's going to be a tough 12 rounds if the fight is scheduled for 12. Whatever the fight is scheduled to, you keep moving forward, and you're answering every jab that he throws, every feint that he throws, every counter that he throws, and you're answering with your own, and you're moving forward and putting pressure on him. You're going to make this fight very, very difficult for him. So that's what you have to do. We all know you like to flurry, you come forward, and you're actually a very underrated boxer. A lot of people think that you're just a come forward fighter, volume puncher. No, you do have a little slickness to you. You do have a little defense to you. We've seen you try to counter with shoulder rolls. We've seen you try to catch and shoot. So you are very polished in all aspects. You do just have some parts of your game where you just do exceed, which is in the offensive end. You do have that height advantage, use it. But one of the things that I do want you to do is keep those hands up. You're constantly moving forward, trying to break people down, and for the most part, you get the better of them, and you do succeed in that. But keep those hands up. The last thing you want to do is get caught with something silly that's gonna, maybe a flash knockdown, maybe you stumble, glove touches the floor, whatever the case is. Let's try to avoid any of those mistakes. Staying polished and consistent on the defensive end of your matchup today, or for that night. So David Benavidez, answer anything that Ronald Ellis has for you. Move forward, put that pressure, and keep those hands up and stay defensively sound, and you'll, do what Vegas thinks you're going to do and win this fight. The odds aren't out for the over or under rounds, and the odds aren't out for winning by decision or knockout. It's still looking like a heavy knockout. It's going to lean towards a knockout. If you feel comfortable betting for a knockout, if the odds are a little better, I would go ahead and do that. Just because Ronald does have a bad loss against Ware, who's a fighter who lost to Stevie Nelson, who Ware does seem to gas out. Don't want to say that will happen towards the later rounds if it does reach later rounds, but there's a reason why the odds are so heavily favoring David Benavidez. Now, on to the Vegas underdog. So for Ronald Ellis, okay, we know David Benavidez is going to come forward. So what do you got to do when someone's in your face throwing punches at you? You got to counter the man. So you're going to have to start countering the guy that's coming forward. If he throws a lazy jab, come up over the top with the right. If he's throwing a left hook, but he doesn't have that right hand up, catch him with a hook of your own. Come over the top with a punch of your own. Another thing to do is be elusive. Use that footwork. If he's coming forward, give him angles, shoot, and move out the way. Circle around. Just move, be elusive, try to be a boxer, and, pick your spots. If there's times where you feel like you can work on the inside, but don't be afraid to lock up. And I think that's very important, because a lot of the times you feel like you're doing very well getting your punches off when you're on the inside, and we're playing to your opponent's strength. David Benavidez wants to have that fight. He wants to have those flurries on the inside, because that's how he breaks his opponents down and eventually gets them out of there. Don't be afraid to lock up. Work, but don't work excessively to where you're going to start letting Benavidez tag you up little by little and start weathering your storm and breaking you down for the end of the fight. Make sure you're countering. Make it a little more difficult for him to come forward. Make him second guess. If I throw this 1-2, what's going to come back over the top, or what is he going to catch, parry, and then come fire back with me? Be elusive on that feet. Don't let him plant his feet. Don't let him get his shots off. Keep him off balance, and then lock up. As I mentioned, you do these three things, you're going to give yourself a better chance of winning that fight. Remember, it is if you do go the distance, we both know who the A side and the B side is. We do know who the house fighter is and who's the Vegas underdog, but we do know the plans that Benavidez wants to do in the future. He does want a Canelo fight. He does want a Charlo fight. He does want a Caleb Plant fight. So you want to throw your wrench into that equation and try to mess things up for him. But with that being said, it's going to have to be a very decisive win for that to happen. I think a close fight here does go to Benavidez. Unfortunately, that's just how the sport works. So we're looking at the odds here, and Benavidez is heavily favored. Vegas is basically saying it's as predictable as the sunrise tomorrow morning. So, of course, we're going to go with the heavily favored Vegas favorite. I would like to see the over-under in rounds and whether he'll win by TKO, what the odds are going to look like. Ronald Ellis does have the ability to potentially lose by decision if he just sticks to the game plan, is very disciplined, and is content with not getting knocked out. At some point, you have to start wondering: are you going to risk it getting knocked out, or are you going to just be complacent with, cruising by and losing a wide decision? That's to be determined. Benavidez is a come forward fighter. We don't know for certain what Ronald Ellis, what his game plan is going to be. We know what Benavidez' game plan is going to be. So with that being said, I'm going to take Benavidez. Gonna look at the odds for knockout, and I'll probably, you know, take him to win by knockout, depending on what the odds are looking like. But with that being said, we have a busy fight week ahead. We do have some great undercards. We do have some closer fights in the undercards that I didn't get to. But with that being said, Benavidez is one bad dude. I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. With that being said, on to the next week of fights. We'll talk more fight game. Please like, please subscribe. I am planning on doing and giving this this view a makeover, so please like, please subscribe, and we hope to continue bringing you odds, bets, predictions in the near future, and growing with you guys as well while we grow our community. Take care, guys. Box office.